Hello everyone, welcome back to Hollywood Western Wardrobe. Another video for you that has nothing to do with wardrobe. As mentioned in a previous video that I've done about Doc Holliday's holsters, here is the Vendetta Ride holster. And this is the same holster that Doc wore on the Vendetta Ride with Wyatt Earp and the Earp. Or the Earps. I think in the movie it was just Virgil. No, Virgil wasn't even with them in the movie. But in reality, there was another Earp with them that the movie did not portray. I think the movie was Texas Jack and Texas Jack and I can't think of his name. It was Buck Taylor played him. But anyway, there in Doc Holliday, there was four of them riding. But this was just like the rig that Val Kilmer wore. In fact, this rig was made off the exact same patterns as the original rig. Got lucky. A gentleman, when I was doing some stuff on Facebook, reached out to us and said, "Hey, I worked for the movie. I worked on the holsters." And the story goes, a guy, oh God, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, guys, I'm drawing a blank. I want to say last name was Gang. Did the original holster for the movie, and they got him over to production, and then they're like, "We need extra holsters because they always need extra stuff." And so they made copies off of the original rig that came over, and then they did a bunch of other rigs. And for stunts and what have not. So we have those patterns and the same tooling that's here on this, same as Doc's. You're going to notice on this how some of this holster's dark and some of it's light. There's light spots in it, like right in here. Let's see if I pulled this up. It looks like there's, and this is a faux aging process that Edward did to match, because this is how the original rig looked, and we wanted it not to look like a new holster. So how Edward did it, I don't know, but it is done perfectly. Same buckle, same everything. And there's a lot of bullet loops on this rig. Now, one of the things is, if you guys want a rig like this, I think the rig is $300, but if you want the aging process, it's like $350, or it's $350, $400. I can't remember. You'll have to get a hold of EJ Leatherworks on Facebook to find out for 100% sure. But it's either one of those two deals. It's $50 for the special aging that he does for it. And this rig here is a size 38. Now, here's something for you guys to know when you're ordering a rig. The best way to determine what size of rig you need, if you wear a jean size, let's say you have a pair of Levi's, and I'll give you my size so we know what we're talking about here. So my waist is 34, and my inseam is 34. So I'm a 34. So when I need a rig, a gun belt, and I want it to set lower, you want to go about 4 sizes up. So this is a size 38. And this thing sets like where my belt would be on my jeans. And if you go back and watch the movie, Val wears his at that location. And then he has the tongue of the belt tucked in because the rig's bigger. And so he has it tucked in like that. And when I do mine, I can do that. I think valves might be actually on the last hole. I'm here at my waist, my hips. But if I wanted to wear it lower like a gunfighter, it would come out here. So there's lots of room to play with. And I wanted to wear it like Val did. I kind of wanted to roll the tongue if I wanted. Sometimes he has the tongue, like I said, rolled back, tucked in like that to itself. And then sometimes he has it tucked into underneath the holster. Now, I'm going to pull out. I'm not going to really talk about the pistol on this one because I did on the shoulder rig. Same gun that Val used, everything. So what I want to do, I want to pull this holster, and you're going to see that there's bullets underneath when I had that holster back here, like so, because about right there is how Val wears it in the movie. So it's actually, let me kind of, as you can see, the holster setting on bullets, just like in the movie. Okay, so the holster has a cant to it. So see how it's angled. It's setting at an angle this way. It's not, if I was to straighten it up, straighten down, the holster would be sticking up over here. But it's got that cant draw to it, so it's for a side draw, or a cross draw as they call it. And this thing, like I said, it fits like butter, just like the shoulder rig. This is a beautifully done rig. And Edward makes a lot of different holsters. He's getting ready to actually, because when we started this little journey, we got the patterns for this holster. We also got the patterns for Kurt Russell / Wyatt Earps. And we've got, I think, Curly Bill and Johnny Ringo. We did not get the shoulder rig one. That was all Edward looking off photos and stuff like that to come up with that. But so right now, I think Edward's going to be in the process of making a Wyatt Earp rig. So it's a double rig, just like Kurt wore in the movie. Actually, it's two belts and two holsters, and then he wears one on each side, and kind of like a little bit like Curly Bill. And one's for that bunt line, and then his regular pistol. So you can get these in obviously various sizes of belts. This is a 38. Just want everybody to know that if you are a larger person and you need a bigger belt, you're going to get more belt loops. And if you're smaller, you're going to get smaller. Because the thing is, you want your belt, your bullets, to basically end right here from the tongue of the belt. And let me move this down here. And you want this distance from the bullets to this part of the, I don't know what you want to call it, the buckle. And if you're smaller, then obviously that means that you're going to have less bullet loops, and if you're bigger, you're going to have more. But they're going to come out to these approximate spacing, okay? So I just wanted everybody to, that way everything looks right, because if you're like, well, you know, I'm a size 44 belt, and if you just put the same amount of bullet loops on it, then you're going to have more spacing here and more spacing here. So to make it all even and look right, you just get either more belt loops or bullet loops and or minus bullet loops, not belt loops. Sorry about that. FYI, I do have a rig just like this sitting at my place that is a size 44, brand new, never used. And what happened was my buddy Travis, who made my John Wayne the Searchers hat for me, wanted this rig. And we did some horse trading, and he said, if you get me one of these rigs, I'll do the hat and da 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 da. I'm like, okay. So we did. Well, he said that he was a size 44. And I had seen pictures of him, and for those of you who don't know, Travis is also in the new series on the Inspirational channel called Elkwood. His character is a shopkeeper and a friend of Teddy Roosevelt. And I've seen him, and I was just like, dude, you sure you're 44? I mean, you don't look bigger than me. Oh, no, I'm a 44. I'm a 44. So, Travis, I'm telling a story on you here. And come to find out, Travis and I are exactly a 38. So, we got Travis a 38 belt and new rig built for him. And he just sent the other rig back to me. And so, I have it sitting at my place. And so if anybody that would like to get that and not have to wait for it to be made, let me know. We'll talk. We can get you so you can pay for it, and then I'll get it sent out to you and everything. So this is a beautiful rig. This is what I call the Vendetta ride rig. And I also did, which I talked about in probably my Duster video, but I had these Deputy U.S. Marshal badges made up, and high quality. Worked with my boys on it for quite a while to make sure that they were the closest thing that we could get to what they used in the movie. And I talked about it not having the dot after the S, the period after it, because in all the screen grabs that I came up with, there was no dot there, or period. And so that's the way I had these made, and very high quality, very thick, very heavy. These are not made in China. These are made in the good old US of A, how I like all my stuff done. And obviously this was Wyatt Earp's badge that he lets Doc Holliday have because Doc wanted to feel, he wanted to know what it felt like wearing one. And then he goes to Johnny Ringo, pulls back the duster and says, now it's legal. This time it's legal. And then when he kills Ringo, he puts it on Ringo's chest. I also did, and I'll probably do another video here in the near future. I also did the Cochise Deputy Sheriff badge that all the cowboys wore. And a lot of people didn't even know that they were wearing them in the movie. So actually, Johnny Ringo, he's a deputy hunting down the Earps, and he's wearing a badge underneath his jacket. And I actually have photos of all that. And so I copied that badge. And so if you're into Johnny Ringo or Doc Holliday or Wyatt Earp, unfortunately, I am completely out of the U.S. Marshal badges. I always said I was going to do one run, and I ended up doing, I think it was 2, maybe 3 runs of it. And I'm a type of guy that I like to do things on short supply, and those that first come, first serve, get them, and I don't do them anymore. And then I go on to my next project. A lot of people ask me if I'm going to make more badges. I am. I'm going to do the Lonesome Dove. I'm actually going to do the badges that the Earps wear when they are going down to the OK Corral. And I'm also going, and these are just off the movie, off movies. I do not do anything historical. I'm a movie guy, and I'm not going to make any quarrels about it. I mean, I love history. I love it. But history is so controversial because people say, oh, this or this, and you get people arguing about what happened and what didn't happen. Nobody knows for sure. I mean, unfortunately, there was no cell phones. There was no really proper documentation on what people wore, what they said, anything. So I like the movies because I can say, no, Doc Holliday wore this rig on the Vendetta ride. There it is on the screen. And so I always, all my stuff, that's why we're called Hollywood Western Wardrobe, because you can't argue with what you see on screen. You can argue about real history. You can't argue what you see on screen, and I just find it more satisfying. So I'm going to be doing the badge, I said Lonesome Dove, the Earps badges from Tombstone, not the U.S. Marshal badges, they're in-town badges. And then I plan on doing Clint Eastwood's from Hang 'em High. I'm kicking around a couple John Wayne badges. So I'm always going to come up with something different because I love Hollywood Westerns, obviously. When your company's name Hollywood Western Wardrobe, you love Hollywood Westerns. And if anybody's got an idea or a project for us, we've actually, I guess I should be very careful on how I word this, but we're always willing to take, suggestions. I have gotten a lot, and we're planning on doing a whole lot. I just want everybody to know that. We're planning on doing, I think, some Little Joe Cartwright, some Paladin from Have Gun Will Travel, some Clint Eastwood stuff. I want to do stuff that isn't been done before because I don't like competition. Now, if I think the competition that would be out there is like, hey, that's way wrong, then I'll jump in on that and make it right. But for the most part, I like to do things that have not been done before. And with Elaine by my side, I come up with all the research, and she listens to my nonsense. When we talk on the phone, we talk two different languages. Elaine has always been a historical type person that made things authentic stuff. And now she's got her foot in the Hollywood world where nobody wore that stuff in the Old West 9 times out of 10, or really 99 times out of 100. And she's having a hard time coping with that. We have a language barrier because I don't know anything about sewing, and she does. So when she starts talking, she's like speaking Greek to me. And when I talk to her, she's like, what the heck are you talking about? So we have to sit down and talk about the things that we're trying to explain to each other. So, but you know what? It's working out. We're coming out with some of the most fantastic items that I have seen in the cowboy world in a very, very long time. Like I said, this is not your run-of-the-mill China stuff that, listen, I'm not making fun of Wallmaker or Scully or anybody else, all these brands, but that stuff is made over in China. And sometimes you get a large and it fits like an extra large. Sometimes you get an extra large and it fits like a medium, and the sleeve lengths aren't right. And trust me, guys, I've had this stuff. And that ain't the way we roll over here. Everything is 100% handmade in the United States. And I have nothing against foreign countries trying to make money, but I believe in the United States making its money first. And if I can create jobs, promote people, small businesses, that's what I do. And everything that you see that on our website comes from the United States. And if you don't like it, hey, kiss my ass. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys go over to Facebook, look up EJ Leatherworks, get you one of these rigs. They are beautiful, and they I guess the words can't explain how it feels when it's on. It is beautiful. I mean, it's not cumbersome or anything like that. I mean, it is just beautiful. So I hope you guys go over there. Remember, EJ Leatherworks, and talk to Edward. He'll set you up with a beautiful rig. He's a super nice guy. I can't say enough kind things about him. Get you one of these rigs. I promise you'll love it. And until our next video, you guys all be good, and I'll talk to you soon.